As the K-pop market grew so much in the past years, the amount of anti-fans grew with it. Even though during the first generation, they were less, the damage they used to cause was bigger than any cancel culture or hate train of recent days. And in this video, I listed some of the craziest stuff that antis from the first generation already did, and their victims. Rising to fame as a member of K-pop's best-selling co-ed group of all time, roo'ra, Chaeryeona was one of the most famous idols of the first generation. Considered the first ever girl crush in all of K-pop, she made millions of people, including a lot of boys, completely obsessed with her, which in a way can be good but also take a very scary turn. Rina also gained tons of popularity years later as a member of South Korea's first female hip-hop group, Diva, who were very feared thanks to their reputation of being rough and violent. If you're curious to why, don't worry. They'll be covered on my next video, and I'll leave its link in the description of this one. But before gaining this image, Rina went through an horrific experience while still in her first group. One time when coming out of a performance, 3 men came out of nowhere, grabbed Rina and ran away holding her. Back then, K-pop events had pretty much no security at all. So her group mate Lee Sang-min was the one who saved her. He was able to shook off the 3 men, who got mad and called their friends. Later on, they all surrounded the group's van and started to shake it. They kept shaking the van and even the police couldn't do anything about it, Sang-min told on an interview many years later. Despite being a part of the select group of artists who received the title of Nation's Little Sister, the singer and actress, Changnara, dealt with a lot of harassment by antis. In 2002, she tracked the IP of a person who was spreading a fake rumor, saying that she had an abortion, but forgave them after finding out that the person was an elementary school student. In the next year, she tracked a guy who was in his early 20s and constantly sent her threatening letters and sexual emails. She was able to secure his home's phone number and called, but his mother was the one who picked up. She was very worried because her son, the guy who was harassing the idol, had run away from home a month earlier and had an intellectual disability. So with the help of the police, Nara admitted the young man to the hospital. When talking about antis on a variety show when she was older, she said, "I received a lot of attention and hate when I was young. I knew there were people who hated me. I was used to hate." And also shared a story of an incident that made her never go out in public with her mom again. One time, I was walking down the street with my mom and then someone came swearing at my face. It was my first time seeing someone swear at my face. They were really swearing, but hearing it with my mom made me feel sorry and self-destructive. After images showing the member of Papaya Kan Se-jung and the NRG member Moon Sang-un together allegedly drunk at a party were leaked in 2001. Dating rumors between the two artists began to circulate and generated a lot of hate towards Sejong and all of Papaya once it got to the ears of the fans of the boy group. Fans of NRG accused the group of pretending to be cute due to their innocent concept, and even criticized the title of their song, Making Love, because NRG released a song of the same name first. After the leaking, the group started to receive letters containing profanity through their agency and the internet. Fan cafes of Papaya were attacked, anti-cafes for the group, and each one of its members were created. One of the most notorious ones had Killer PPY, as of Papaya, as its address. On a post made on Cafe Dom on June of 2001, a user wrote that they found Sejong's email address at an anti-Papaya cafe, and continued, "I heard that if you write to her using profanity, she'll start swearing." The situation became so unbearable that the owner of a fan cafe for the group, called Space Papaya Domnet Fan Club, made a notice regarding the anti-posts that were being made at the time. They wrote a long text and some parts of it read, "Recently, there's been a lot of anti and cursing posts on Papaya's cafe, and I have deleted all related posts. Antis, please go do whatever you want. This is a space for fans of Papaya. Have you ever thought about how the members of your favorite singer's fan cafe would feel if there was profanity posted on it? The internet is also a tool that requires ethics and netiquette." NRG was super popular at the time and had a huge fan base full of jealous young girls by their side. On the other hand, Papaya had their supporters, but were still trying to make a name for themselves in the industry. So the amount of hate they started getting was very disproportionate compared to the amount of love and support. In the same year of the controversy, Papaya started to slowly fall apart, losing members and falling more in popularity. They weren't paid for a year and a half until they disbanded at the end of 2001. Unfortunately, the group had a very sad and unfair ending. But I think it's safe to say that they got a hit in their discography. Even if you don't know it, maybe you've already heard one of Papaya's songs, as in 2016, Oh My Girl released a remake version of their debut track. When asked about aunties on a radio show in 2016, Chakra's Miyoun said that Hangbo and Miyoun used to be very harassed. Miyoun already opened up about the hate that the group suffered when they were still rookies and say, "We were allowed to enter broadcasting stations based on the size of the fan club. Since we were rookies, we didn't have many fans. The booing was louder than the cheering." One time, Miyoun shook hands with a member of G.O.D, which led to one of their fans giving her an acrylic board that had knives stuck under it, placed in a way that it would pop out and cut her hands when she opened it. She was also gifted a cosmetic by an auntie who pretended to be a fan and encouraged her to use it. Miyoun believed the auntie, but when she opened the lid and smelled it, it smelled like acetone and vinegar. During the promotions of Baby V.O.X's album Come 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 Baby, released in 1999, a rumor that came out of nowhere started to be spread among fans, that the group's visual Kan Miyoun was dating Moon Hee-jun, the leader of the boy group H.O.T. The idols knew each other as they worked on the same industry, but had no type of relationship at all. Still, the totally groundless rumor caused a lot of jealousy, not only among H.O.T fans, but of other boy groups as well, who started to harass all Baby V.O.X members, but having a main target. Aunties started to verbally assault, throw eggs, rocks, and even trash at the group. They used to stay silent, give the middle finger and scream, "Get lost," while the girls performed. The members received hate emails and letters, some containing threats and blood. Photos of them with their faces destroyed and insults written on them through their dorm mailbox. Aunties even gifted Baby V.O.X dead cats and dogs.
공연을 가면요, 항상 저희가 차 탈 때마다 차 내리고 탈 때마다 되게 두려움을 느껴요, 저희가. 또 어디서 뭐가 날라올지 모르고.
Miyoun was the face of what would become probably the most infamous anti-attack in all of K-pop.
인기 그룹 여가수에게 한 극성 팬이 살해하겠다는 협박 편지를 보냈습니다. 자신이 좋아하는 다른 인기 그룹 남자 멤버와 이 여가수가 사귀고 있다는 것이 이유인데 10대들의 연예인에 대한 열정이 빗나가고 있는 것은 아닌지 걱정되는 부분입니다. 문호철 기자가 보도합니다.
She made TV news after cutting her fingers when opening a letter from an auntie who put razor blades inside of it and threatened to end her life. The singer reported the incident to the police and it gained huge attention, generating for possibly the first time in K-pop, a debate regarding the limits of being a fan and safety of celebrities.
간양은 이달 들어서도 여학생들이 던지는 오물을 맞고 면도칼에 손을 다친 적도 있었던 터라 편지를 받고 극도의 공포에 빠졌습니다.
But it still didn't stop the attacks. In the year 2000, while Baby V.O.X were waiting to perform, Eunhae was shot in the eye with a water gun that contained a mixture of soy sauce and vinegar that could have blinded her if she had rubbed her eye. She was rushed to the hospital and the doctors confirmed that her cornea was damaged. The group's performance that day was cancelled, but after Eunhae left the hospital, Baby V.O.X continued with their activities that were scheduled, with her wearing an eye patch.